My name is Babra Tanui. I am not a member. I fellowship in this church here at Central. Most of you know me as, the little Sunday school girl. We just saw her the other day and all that. I'm 23 years old. What else? I'm a self-taught makeup artist and hairstylist. I work I am Dada Hair and Makeup. Besides that, school-wise, I am an economist and statistician. All right? Yes, sisi watu wa urembo atukwangi madanda. We are usually pretty smart. All right, apologies accepted. Thank you, Sarah. There could not be a better foundation to what you are about to talk about today. All right? So she has focused on the inner beauty. I am here to focus on the outer beauty. Sorry. Right. Now, I think you can start off. And do you all know Psalms 139 verse 14? How does it go? Is that really how it starts? All right. So Psalms 139 verses 14, it says, I will praise you because I have been remarkably and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know this very well. All right? Let me start off with maybe a phase in life that we all had when you're done with campus and you're busy scouting for jobs. You're usually told, write a CV, right? And in that CV, unajipaka mafuta, write it well. Because as per what I was told is, your CV ndo itadetermine whether you're called in or not, right? They don't know you, but this CV is the one that is going to sell you. That was then. Sai sijui kama hiyo inafanyika or tunatumia the CV of connections, but either way, if your CV is well presented, if your CV is good, neat, presentable, then most likely you'll be called in, right? If your CV is just there looking how it wants to look, then I don't think you'll be really called for an interview. The same way we are. For example, if we didn't know who Sarah was by name and you're meeting her for the first time and you want to describe her to your friend, how will you describe Sarah? Without saying this is Sarah, without saying her name to your friend. Yes, please describe her. Tall, brown, beautiful, Nairobi hairstyle, good, with glasses, with a long dress, elegant, yes, all that. What am I trying to say? That the outside matters. Before someone gets to know you in the inside, they first meet you on the outside, right? Right. So let us start off with Proverbs chapter 31, verse 22. And we all know how Proverbs 31 is, and we all strive to be a woman like the Proverbs 31 woman, right? But it's only in verse 22 that it actually states how this woman is dressed. The rest of the verses are about how she works, how she's taking care of her home, how she wakes up in the morning, and all that. But in verse 22, it says, she makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Fine linen and purple, as you all know, in the old days, was to represent royalty. So if then you are seen with something purple and something linen, that was, you're a very luxurious person, very royal, right? Let's move on to Ruth chapter 3, verse 3. And in this story, we all know the story of Ruth, right? And at this point, Ruth had been mourning. And the mother-in-law comes and tells Ruth, go wash yourself, therefore, and anoint yourself, and put on your best clothes, and go down to the threshing floor, but do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking. So I want us to focus on the first part. Wash yourself, therefore, and anoint yourself, and put on your best clothes. So it is not unusual to say that also women in the Old Testament took care of themselves, like the way Sarah said, and how Sarah took care of herself when they were with Abraham. It was evident that this is a beautiful woman. Next on, let's move to Esther chapter 2, verse 12. And this is one of my favorite verses because it shows how seriously beauty was taken in the old days. And this was when the king Success was looking for a wife, a queen. And what was happening is, from verse 12, we see, before a young woman's turn came to go into King Success, she had to complete 12 months. How many months? Which month are we in right now? Which month? Numbers? The 4th. And some of us are already tired with just doing our hair. You know, just waking up every day and just looking for an outfit. Oh God, it's just so tiring, so heavy. But these ladies went in for 12 months. Okay, beauty treatments prescribed for the women. 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 with perfumes and cosmetics. How many months? How many months in total? So when you're waking up in the morning and you're just feeling, oh my God, remember someone, somewhere, took how many months? To be presented, not even to stay with, just to be presented, like this is so and so. 12 months, all right? So how important, one more verse. And this verse shows us that even God himself is making a bridegroom or the bridegroom beautiful. Let's move to Isaiah chapter 61, verse 10. I delight greatly in the Lord, my soul rejoices in my God, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation and arrayed me in a robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom adorns his head like a priest, and as a bride adorns herself with jewel. All right? So even, who are we, first of all? Are we the bride, the bridegroom, the church, the bride? And the bridegroom, who is Christ, he's adorning his head like a priest. And we, the brides, we will adorn ourselves with jewels. All right? So beauty is something acceptable even in the Bible. Okay? So hii kitu ya, so you weni mrembo uje ukoka. No, you don't need to look. I'm looking for the right word. Haggard, you don't need to look. Just to prove that you have Christ in you. All right? So what is this outside that you're talking about? Sarah has talked about the inside. So what is this outside? The outside is what we see, all right? It is what we see. Your hair, how you've accessorized, your dress, your shoe, how you walk, how you talk. That is the outside. And sadly enough, or unfortunately enough, the world will judge us based on the outside before they even get to know your inside. So we have to take care and present ourselves well enough so that the world can give us an opportunity for them to know us. Is it making sense? Right. So here's a breakdown of why the outside matters. I'm very sure when we were pretty girls, we are still pretty girls, but earlier, when you were younger and you were kids, and we were bought for very nice new dresses, maybe on Christmas, or you're a flower girl, and you have this pretty white dress or pretty red dress. 100% of the time, you're the one who's going to be the most active. True or false? Even now with our daughters or with the small children we see, I teach in Sunday school sometimes, and when a girl is so hyper or so active, most likely there's something she once noticed. A dress, a shoe, her hair, a handbag. It starts from being when you're so little, all right? So one, why the outside matters, it's because it's a confidence booster. When you are smart, you are confident. When you know you are ish-ish, your confidence is also ish-ish. Good. Communication. The way you dress and speak can influence how others perceive you. Sometimes when we meet people and they're not so well dressed, maybe they have a very short skirt, or they're really showing us the cleavage, or they're just not well dressed, it already gives us a perception of who they are without even talking to them. True or false? We are ladies. Sometimes when you go home and we are like, huyo nani alikuwa amevaa nguo fupi hivyo? It's just normal that we get to perceive people like that. True or false? True or false, ladies? So I want us to read the next slide. Let's go. Is it true? Is it true? Now, when you're talking about your outside, as Sarah has already mentioned, we are going to talk about your scent and your style, all right? So let's start off with a scent. This is the fragrance that is around you, what you have worn, all right? And there are certain rules of wearing scents. There are different types of scents. We have people who like woody scents. We have people who like fruity scents, citrus scents, etc. All right? So today we'll be talking about how to build a fragrance. We'll also talk about how to wear our perfumes and tips to make our perfumes last longer. Are you ready? Nice. We're also going to talk about dressing. Where we're going to talk about being dressed for an occasion. Who are you? What is your style? What body type are you, and what is recommended for your body type? All right? So let's start off with scents. We can build our scents over time, all right? And we just don't have to wear our perfumes or rely on the scents that come with our lotions. So I have seen that we all have notebooks, and you are taking kaujaanza, naona notebook yako ya geuza hivi. Turn it, because you're going to take quite a lot of notes. So you can just turn it, and then we start off. Now, when we are going to take a shower, or when you're going to take a bath, we just normally go, copy your kipande, we rinse out and we go, all right? And then we go and maybe wear our perfumes, and then that's it. However, there is a way we can layer our scents, all right? In a way that even if one scent fades out, another scent still stands out, all right? So how do we do this? It's in our shower routine. So the first step when you're going into a shower, or you're going to take, okay, this is mostly for showers, because kama ni bath unaweza tumia karibu lita 50 ya maji. So if you want to take this routine, please have a shower. It will be faster. All right? So first off, we just start normally with your bar soap and your African sponge, or whatever you use to clean out the dirt, to clean out the sweat. All right, ladies? After that, rinse out. Okay? Step number 2. We usually have these body scrubs that we usually buy. Apricot, cucumber, coffee, those ones you know them, right? Now, they come in at this step. You exfoliate. But before you exfoliate, if you need to shave, this is where you shave, all right? After shaving is now when you exfoliate. When you exfoliate, those particles, the rough particles, when you scrub them onto your skin, they help you remove the dead skin. I think that we know, right? So after that, you rinse off. Next off, you go in with your shower gel or your body wash. Now the scent from your shower gel will stick on your body, because this is the last scrubbing you will do, for lack of a better word. And then you wash off. And then immediately you've washed off and you're going to dress up. There's a way we usually say, but dry your face, don't take a lot of moisture. Apply it to your whole body. Don't just, don't be rough when you're drying yourself. Just pat down the whole body. Why? It's because you need the moisture to retain on your skin. Okay? All right, ladies? Usitoke bafu uko ashi tayari. Just make sure you pat down so that you can have the moisture retained. And then, after that, you can go in with your skincare routine. We'll talk about skincare at the end, but in case you already have a skincare routine, you go in with that. Next you moisturize. Now, you can use your lotion, you can use your body butter, shea butter, jojoba oil, all that. You moisturize. And the reason why we said you still remain with a little bit of moisture is when you moisturize either with your lotion or with your body butters and oils, the oils will seal up the moisture on your skin. So you won't lose moisture during the day. Is it making sense? And then number 6, you dress up and you perfume. So how do you wear this perfume? Some of us here maybe are working with the Department of Health, fumigation department, because sometimes when your scent arrives before you, or when you are leaving, we come and like, kwani Joivin alikuwa hapa? And they're like, alitoka saa 8 and it's 4. Your perfume should not fumigate a place, ladies, okay? Your perfume should stay with you. I should feel your perfume when I'm near you, when I'm hugging you. Actually, those two. Usi, yo unachoma. Sawa? Munafanya nini? Umechoma. Sawa? So how do you wear our perfumes? So when you're wearing our perfumes, we wear on places where there are impulse points, okay? So where these impulse points at behind your jaw, lower jaw, on your wrists, okay? Behind your knee, on your elbow, and on your forearm. Why are we wearing our perfumes on the impulse points? Because on the impulse points, it's warmer and they emanate heat. They produce heat. And when heat is produced and they mix with the particles or the molecules of perfumes, they intensify the scent. All right? So we won't be doing this. Okay? We won't be doing that. We'll be intentional with where we put our perfumes because they're also pretty expensive. So we just won't, like Motin Doom. All right? Good. Another place you can put your perfume is on your hair, all right? Or at the back of your neck. And also when you're done, you can just spray it on the air and walk through. That's it. Don't to make a tar. Where not to? Near the eyes. We already know. Do not place this near the eyes. Inakwanga kwa all the packaging. Do not place this near your eyes. In the armpits. Because it's foldy and you already have deo on. Right? And it's also sweaty for those who don't have deo on. So it really won't make much of a difference. And around the genitals, for reasons we all know. Right? So perfume tips. When we are wearing our perfumes, tushasema we're putting them on the impulse points of our skin. Oh, and also we don't put it on the clothes. We put it on the skin. Nice. So we dab, we don't rub. Once you have put your perfume on your arms, or on your, not arms, on the wrists, or on your lower jaw, what you do is you dab. This is how we dab. Okay? Don't. All right? Just dab. Apply Vaseline as a base. Now, when you're using these oil perfumes, like the ones we refill, you might want to create a base for your perfume to sit on. So you can apply Vaseline, Remis, all that as a base. Then spray on your skin and not your clothes. Store in a cool and dry place. Nice. Let's move on to dress codes. Now, a dress code is a set of rules specifying the required manner of dressing. All right? Now, let us imagine that you are invited to different events with different dress codes. Right? And the first event, this one we had, and ilitesa wa mama sana. The first one was a baby shower, and you were told to come with pastel colors. And ladies freaked out. Really. They really did what? They freaked out. Then imagine a bridal shower, and you're told, come in a rustic theme. We are doing a rustic theme, so come rustically dressed. Or a ladies' brunch, and you're told, we are going to do monochrome. Or another ladies' brunch, and you're told earthly tones. And lastly, dinner, and it's black tie. Now, the first rule of dress codes is understand what it means. Like this one of today was chic. You are looking lovely. Someone might not know you are suffering in those groups. Because I was there just looking at ladies suffer, and I'm like, oh my God, why are you suffering? The first thing is understand what the theme is. Pastel colors. What is a pastel color? These are basically just gentle colors. The baby colors. Baby purple, baby pink, baby orange. Just the baby colors, all right? Rustic theme. These are the deep colors, okay? The deep colors. The next one is monochrome. Now, if this was an event and you told you to come with monochrome, I am sure 100% of you will come with solid colored dresses. True or false? True or false? Do we understand what monochrome is? Do we understand what the dress code is? You can layer your monochrome, all right? You can layer it. How? So if you've decided today I want to wear brown, why not look for different shades of brown? Then layer it. You can have a brown leather coat, a different shade of brown top, a different shade of brown pants, and a different shade of brown shoes. Simple. You don't have to come with one solid color dress and maybe a fascinator. You just have to go an extra mile. Understand what the dress code is. What if it was a ladies' brunch with earthy tones? Again, 100. So that is an example of a monochrome, all right? As you can see, they're the same colors, but different shades. Just layer it, and that's it. Layering is putting one on top of the other. Simple. If it is a ladies' brunch and you're told to wear earthy tones, again, 100% of us are going to come with plain green, plain brown. True or false? Do we understand what earthy tones are? Do we? No. So the first step, as we said, is to understand. So when you are walking around and you just see, God created this world so nicely. The earth is just so nice. What colors do you see? Earthy, earth, earthy, earth, green, brown, reds, oranges, yellows. They're just the colors that you see in nature. Earthy. Number 5, dinner, and you're invited and you're told the dress code is a black tie. So how are we going to dress up? I want you to imagine in your wardrobe. Ukiambiwa leo jioni We all must come for dinner and it's black tie. Are we sorted? No? Are we sorted? So what? Yes? No? Tabidi tumejiangalia na undani so that we know, really. All right? So a black tie is very simple. First thing, it has to be a lags fabric. What do you mean by lags? Fine. All right? Fine and high quality. All right? Don't go for the ones that will cost you 3,000 per meter. No, just nice and fine. When you touch, it's soft. It can I say shine? Just fine. We all have our own definition of. So, fine. Most likely, or preferably, they are usually gowns, so they touch the ground. Or, miguu zako na gowns zina, you get? Zina, yes. And then accessories. You have to accessorize all the time when you are invited to a black tie. So the first step is to understand what is needed, all right? So what is being dressed for the occasion? What is being dressed for the occasion? We had a sports weekend ladies fellowship some time back, right? Were we dressed for the event? No? Yes? You know, sometimes, unfortunately, we are Kenyans. We just like being stubborn. Because even on a poster, you can find it's written sportswear. But who are we? We are Kenyans. Ni lazima kweli? Si bora I have appeared. Nimeonekanako kidogo. And then you end up playing and you're there in a skirt. So let us be dressed for the occasion. Get the right attire for an occasion. For example, it's a formal event. We are going to work. You just know it's formal. We all are going to go formal. True? Hardly in our offices on a Monday, except if you're working for a Gen Z boss, will you go with a casual look. It's always formal, corporate, that's it, right? When you're going to a wedding, we hardly appear or come with casual, right? Because I've seen you ladies in weddings, and I'm like, are these the same ladies who are usually in church? Because you look amazing. But you don't want to put the same effort in other things, okay? So we have to be dressed for the occasion at all times. Decency. That is something Sarah had talked about. So let us move on to style. So what is style? Style is an attractive way of doing something, and in this case, we are talking about dressing, all right? And there are different types of style. So I want you to explain to your neighbor what your style is on a normal day. Are you the dera type? Are you the singenge ningombe type? I'm just saying, kama nimeguza waya mbaya, pole. But I'm just saying, all right? So what is your style on a normal day? Are you a fitting style? Sorry? T-shirt ya chama, ama t-shirt ya UDA, ama OD. So just explain to your neighbor your style in like 2 words. So can I get some answers? Can I get some answers? So what is their style? Aina definition. Venye utamka, nye utaona, you move with it. It's okay. Unajua pia uchumi metifinya, so we really can't blame you. Anyway, so there are different types of style. These are not all the styles. The first one is chic, the one you're wearing today, elegant and stylish. All right? We have minimalistic. There are people who don't put in so much effort in their dressing, but they look good, right? That is the minimalistic. Simplicity, personal style, and focused on minimal amount of clothes that one needs in their wardrobe, all right? We have the formal style, outfits worn for formal events such as corporate meetings, dinners, workplaces, and sometimes weddings. In the Western side, a lot of weddings usually come with dress codes, right? Yo, I don't think tuneza handle uku. Vintage. These are the historic outfits and styles, such as afro, high-waist pants, suspenders, etc. Oops, kuna moja imepotea, but sawa. So let's move to body types and structures. Just give me a minute. Right. So do we know our body types and structures? Do we? Do we? Niwache hii nisonge? So you don't? All right. So we have majorly 5 types of body structures, all right? The first one in pink is round, all right? I'll give you a more descriptive characteristic of each, all right? The second one is a triangle or a pear, right? We all know the fruit pear. The third one is an inverted triangle. The fourth one is a rectangle. Or the inverted triangle is also known as the carrot. We all know how the carrot looks like? Yes. We have the rectangle. Come on, ladies. And then we have the hourglass. Most people get to confuse the hourglass, and they usually say size 8, but it's not the same thing. In dressing, we usually have the sizes, size small, medium, XL, XX, Evo. In those sizes, they also have numbers, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and so forth. So that the shape is not a size 8, but an hourglass. So ukiona mtu ameumbwa vizuri anakaa size 8, usemi nawe ni ka size 8, unasema wewe ni hourglass. Because we can have a size 8 who is a size 16. Are they really a size 8? Good. So let's get into the first one, the inverted or the carrot shape. Now, this inverted or the carrot shape is a person who has broader shoulders compared to the rest of the. So when they stand, they look, like a carrot. Okay? So you have the inverted, the shoulders that are broader, and then the shoulders and the ratio of the hips is actually smaller than the shoulder. All right? So when you first know the type of body shape you have to know what your goal is. All right? For example, an inverted triangle, the goal, because this inverted triangle, as you said, they have broader shoulders and they're smaller on the bottom, they don't have a well-defined waist, okay? So our goal, when you're having an inverted triangle or a carrot shape, is to visually define the waist. You can't go looking for a waist at a surgeon. That's just the truth. But you can always visually enhance whatever you want to enhance, or visually reduce whatever you want to reduce. So, for an inverted triangle, if you are wearing a coat, you want the coat to be long. Why? Because when you wear a long coat, it's going to flow with your shoulders. And when it does, it's going to make your bottom or the rest of your body look a little bit voluminous and not carrot. Good. If you wear a cropped coat, the shoulders will still appear wider than the rest of the body. If you're wearing a dress, you might want, because we are also trying to visually enhance the waist, you might want to go for fit and flares or A-line dresses, okay? Because when you wear a fit and flare dress or skirt, the waistband of the skirt, you'll place it at your natural waist. And when you do, the flare will give an illusion of a waist, as opposed to a fitted dress that will just follow your body. Okay? Are we together? If it's a skirt, you might want to go with fit and flares, as we said, pleated skirts, A-line skirts. Okay? If you're wearing pants, you might want to go for cargo pants. Cargo pants, Gen Zs, you know what cargo pants are? Watu wa Kibaki, do we know? You do? Makosa ni yangu, I apologize. So these cargo pants are the pants that look kama za jeshi, in simple terms. Sawa? With pockets, and it's voluminous. So when you wear it, it gives you a more voluminous bottom, and it takes away the attention from the shoulders to the bottom. So you just look balanced. You also want to go with wide pleated legs, so pants, so that it can also balance with the shoulders, instead of going for skinny pants that will follow your body. Sleeves and necklines. So if you are an inverted triangle person, you want to go for V. You know the V necklines? The V necklines tend to remove or reduce the width of your shoulders. So instead of us looking at you like this, we look at you like this. Okay? Because the attention has been drawn away from the shoulders, and it's now here at the V. So you look smaller. You want to also do button-down dresses or the V dresses. You don't want to go with the square necklines. Why? Because when it's a square neckline, the length ni gani? Width ni hii. So the width, because it's square, it enlarges. It widens, thank you. The shoulder length. So we tend to see you like this. And when you see you like this, together with the broad shoulders that you're blessed with, now you look elongated. I hope it's making sense. You look really wide. You won't want to go for off shoulders because of the, you see? It's when you wear an off shoulder, our attention now moves to your shoulders. And you already had our attention. So you have really a lot of attention. When you're doing prints and patterns and you're an inverted triangle, you would want to do bottoms that have more prints than the top. Even when it's colors, you want to do a brighter bottom than, so that our attention moves from up to down. Good. If you want to do patterns, a basic rule of patterning is if you are wearing vertical stripes, you look. If you are wearing, you look. So because you already have wide shoulders, you don't want to wear horizontal stripes or lines. Even when you're wearing if you want to wear anything with lines, do it vertically, so that we move from this again to, good. The pair, also, if you're having an inverted triangle body shape, you want to move away from the coat pads or the jacket pads, okay? Hizo vitu zinawapeanga shape. You want to move away from that, because with the cotton pads, they get to increase the volume of your shoulders. So you'd really want not to wear that. Let's move to the pair or the triangle shape. Now, this pair or triangle shape, the main feature is that you have narrow. It's actually the opposite, almost the opposite of the inverted triangle. You have a narrow shoulder, and you're a little bit wider on the low, especially your hip area, okay? So that forms an inverted triangle or a pear. And these ladies usually have a well-defined waist, okay? Because God has blessed them from here downwards. So if you're an a pear person, something that you usually think it's good and it's not is wearing the fitted, okay, if you enjoy it, it's okay. Wearing the fitted or bodycon skirts or dresses that get to show your hip and your figures and all the blessed areas. There are people who are okay with that, but there are people who feel they don't really want that part of their body, yes, to be shown or to take the spotlight. So if you are such a person, then you might want to do more of A-line skirts, okay? So that all the attention will move from your hip area to your waist, okay? You won't want to do baggy skirts because you're already voluminous. When you add more volume, you become volume cubed. When you're wearing the outerwear, the kimonos or the cardigans, you'd want to go for something that is a little bit longer, once again, so that all the attention can be hidden with your long kimono or cardigan. If you wear the short one, then we all know where all the attention is. When you're wearing pants and you're pear-shaped, you'd want to go for something more wide-legged to balance out with your hip area so it can go straight, okay? If you wear leggings and all that, all the attention moves where? To the bottom part. Yes, and also if you're wearing pants and you're a pear-shaped person, you'd want to go for a high waist or a mid-rise, okay? Something that is above your low waist, of course. Because if you wear the lowest pants, already you have dragged the attention with your natural feature downwards. When you're wearing something that is already focusing so much on the down part, now all the attention again moves downwards. If you're wearing tops, the principle of colors again. If you wear something bright, attention goes to the bright. If you wear something dark, attention does not focus on the dark. So because you have a wider hip area, you want the attention to move from the hip area upwards. So I'd recommend for you to wear brightly colored tops compared to dark colored tops, like the cartoon figure. When you look at the one in striped brown with a black top and blue and yellow, the one with a black and brown, the attention is moving to the brown. The eyes it's just brightly colored so, but the bright color top, attention moves up. Dresses, again, there are people who are comfortable with wearing the bodycon dresses. If you're okay with that, that's fine. But in case you feel a little bit too uncomfortable, you might want to wear the fit and flare to put the emphasis on your waist and not your hips. The rectangle shape. Oh, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So the rectangle shape. Now, the ratio of the shoulders to the torso area to your hips is 1 to 1 to 1. You are a perfect rectangle, and you are beautiful, okay? So with this type of body shape, our goal is to define the waist. Because remember, we've said you are 1 to 1 to 1. So we need to visually define your waist. So if you are doing, and also another goal is to remove your eyes from the boxy effect that you have, okay? So if you're wearing tops, you might want to wear wrap tops. Because when you're wearing a wrap top, you usually have to tie it at your natural waistline. So when you're tying it at your natural waistline, it gives us an illusion, thank you, of a waist. If you love tops, Again, you might want to not wear off shoulders, because with this type of body structure, your shoulders are the same as the one with the inverted triangle. So we really wouldn't want to wear off shoulders. If you are a top person, you can wear asymmetrical tops, one hand tops, okay? So that our eyes move from this to, good, it makes you a little bit narrower. If you're wearing dresses, don't wear dresses with ruffles, okay? Or square necklines, because again, with the square necklines, you look wider. If you're wearing tops as well, you might want to wear wrap tops and not boxy tops, like the t-shirts and all that. If you're wearing pants, please run away and flee from leggings, because they're just going to follow your body structure. You might want to do wide-legged pants with bright colors. If it's a neckline, you would want to run away again from the square neckline and do a wide or a V neckline. You remember why? Why? Attention. Ladies with attention. Dresses. You might want to do scoop line A-line dresses. The scoop line is the one that is just round. Okay? It's not an off-shoulder. It's inacheza tu hapa kwa shingo. That's the scoop. You might want to do that so that it can give us the semicircle effect and move from this again to bring you together. And if you are okay with bodycons, it's okay, but when you're wearing a bodycon and you have a rectangular body type, it tends to follow the natural shape of your body, and then it's going to give you a boxy effect. If you're wearing dresses, you can do the wrap style dresses to create that illusion of a waist, but don't do turtleneck or pull neck or polo neck tops or dresses, because now itakufuata mwili and you're just going to see every box. Dresses again, do flowy A-line dresses and run away. These shapeless, the dresses that are just there, if the wind comes, it carries. If it rains, umeloa. Those dresses that are just shapeless, you might also want to run away from them because they create volume and it make you look like a big box. Skirts. Do plain colored A-line skirts, and also we remember they need to be brightly colored so that the attention can move from the shoulders and downwards to where we are trying to create an illusion of a waist. And then now when all the attention comes there, it now looks like you are balanced. You might want again to run away from fitted skirts. Let's do the round or the apple shape. Any questions? All right. So the round or apple shape. This shape actually has been associated, it's a myth, with a particular group or tribe. And it's not really nice, ladies. It's a shape and it's not something that is hereditary, okay? So anyone can have a round or an apple shape. Now with the round or apple shape, one of the most distinctive feature of a person with a round or apple shape is that they have really nice legs, okay? They might be a little bit heavy at the top, but they have really nice legs. And they don't have a waist definition, because maybe, or most likely, most of them have big girls, big busts, okay? So they look heavier at the top and light at the bottom, or small at the bottom. So if a round shape, you might want to do A-line dresses. Again, definition of the waist. When you wear an A-line dress or a skirt, where your waist band sits, it gives us an illusion of a waist. You might want to run away from high neck, shapeless dresses. Because when you're also a little bit heavy, when you wear something completely covering you, you look heavier, okay? Now, coats and jackets. Again, definition of the waist. If you're wearing a peplum coat, there's usually that place where the peplum starts. Yes, it gives an illusion of a waist. If you wear big cocoon coats, again, you're voluminous, add more volume. Volume. Dresses, airline dresses, belted dresses will work great and will look good on you. Because once again, we are trying to enhance and visually enhance the waist. Bodycons and baby doll dresses, especially the ones with high, not even high, the low waistlines will look really bad on you. Skirts. You might want to, again, move to airline skirts, but please don't wear tiered skirts. Don't wear skirts with big prints or skirts with, big and bold prints. Because when you're wearing something big and bold, it makes you look bigger, okay? Something with small prints, it will make you look, it's just the whole eye effect, all right? So you might not want to do tiered skirts, and I think you can see the difference between the two ladies, the one with the airline and the one with the tiered, right? You might also want to move away from the mermaid because of the fitting effect. Pants. If you're an oval, or an apple shape, you might want to do high waist pants. Again, for the definition of the waistline. If you wear low waist pants, you will seem like you have no waist. Okay? Necklines. V necklines. Remember, when you are a round shape, you are a little bit voluminous at the top. So for us to remove your voluminosity, yes, we are smart girls. Voluminosity, if there's something like that, V necklines to bring us from this to this. So you look smaller. High necklines, we've said if you're a little bit voluminous and you add volume cubed. All right, so we move to the hourglass body type. Now, the hourglass body type, the waist is smaller than the shoulders and the hips, all right? So it gives you the hourglass impression. Now, these ladies, they look good in anything and everything. Actually, they're the ones who usually misguide the rest of us. Because you come and you see a lady with your dress is uniplug. You go look for the same dress and you are just miserable in it. All right? So, if you are an hourglass-shaped girly, you might want to do more of fitted attires, okay? Now, there is a difference between fitted and tight. If you can sit, that is fitted. And if you can raise your leg like this, that is fitted. If you cannot sit, that's tight. Okay? So do fitted and not for everyone. That's a general rule. Fitted, not. You won't want to do billowy empire waist dress lines. These are dress lines that are just big and the waistline is wherever it wants to be. Because you already have a defined waistline, we want that seen, okay? And because you also have that defined waistline, it means the attention will move from your girls and your blessed area to the waist. Dresses, you want to do belted dresses, once again to enhance your waist. Don't do shapeless dresses. Jackets and the recommended sleeves for jackets. Now, because you look good in everything and anything, you can do the 3/4 jacket or the bracelet length. When you wear your bracelet or your watch, that is the bracelet length. Coats. You might want to do airline coats and not puffy. Airline coats will follow your body shape. Puffy coats will just takufunika tu. Necklines. You can do off-shoulder necklines, but don't do turtlenecks. You look bigger, okay? Anytime you have covered yourself completely, you look bigger. Tops. You can do tops. You can do structured tops with belts. But the things you can't, or the tops you are not recommended to wear are the boxy tops or the oversized t-shirts. Boxy tops and easy tops, like you know how t-shirts usually look like. And then now their tops look like those t-shirts. You are smart girls. Pants. You might want to go with straight cut pants. Leggings, again, will bring a lot of attraction to your bottoms, like the bottom part, and not focus on the rest of your features that you have. Skirts, form and fitting mermaid skirts, but don't do the shapeless skirts, the ones that just... Nice. Did we come with our belts? Did we? So, some? Wengine mlisahau. So let us belt it up. How are we going to choose the perfect belt for our body types and shapes? Now, there are 3 types of belts, okay? The narrow belt, the medium belt, or what people call midi, and wide, okay? So this is an example of a wide belt, the obi belt at the front. It's a wide belt. The narrow belts are the ones we usually wear with our pants, okay? And then midi, katikati hizo mbili. Now, there is a concept of either you are short-waisted or long-waisted. And this is an activity we're going to do now so that you can know if you're long or short-waisted and what belts will go with your waist. All right. So can we stand, please? And if you've not known the name of your neighbor by now, you have a problem. Because henceforth, now you'll be needing that neighbor to help you do some things, okay? Yes. Now, how do we know if you're long-waisted or short-waisted? This is how, okay? Your hands, okay? You're going to measure the distance between your under the bust and your belly button. So you just place your hand under your girls, immediately under your girls, okay? And then the second hand, chini ya hiyo mkono. Zishikane, okay? So where is your belly button? Is it under your hand? Is it imepotelea tu mahali? Or is it immediately at your hand? Hiyo ni activity kama exam. So you take your hand, place it under your girls, okay? Take the other hand, place it under the hand you've placed under the girls, okay? Sawa, nitawaonyesha. And then you find your belly button. Mumepata? So, your hand under your girls, your second hand under the hand under the girls. All right? So find your belly button. Iko wapi? Hey, you want to have chini. Nyinyi wote. Ladies. Nyinyi wote. Nini koka? Okay, so let's do this. If your belly button, if your hand does not fit between under your girls and your belly button, meaning imepita belly button, you are long-waisted. Okay? If your hand fits perfectly, yani chini tu yake, it's your belly button, you are balanced. All right? Ladies, it's not like there's a reward. All right, let's go on. Now, if your belly button, okay, if your, kama mkono zako Let me see. Now we've said if your hand fits perfectly, it's balanced. Okay? If your hand imepita your belly button, it's long. Sorry, it's short. It's short, okay? So mkono yako haijatoshea imepita your belly button. If your hand imetoshea na bado hujaguza belly button yako, you are long. Okay? Good. Now, if you are short-waisted, what does it mean? Okay? Now, there is a part in our body known as the torso. Okay? This is our bodies without the hands and without our legs. So hapa tu katikati. When you're having a short waist, it means you have a short torso. And when you're having a short torso, possibility is that you're having long legs. Okay? If you are long-waisted, it means you have a longer torso. And most of the times, people with a longer torso have shorter, all right? So tushajijua, good. So how, and if you're having a balanced, it means the distance between your torso and your legs are balanced, the same. So here's an image just to explain that. As you can see where the shoulders are, where the belly buttons are of our three samples, and the length of their legs, okay? So the first one, that is a long torso, a long-waisted person, okay? The second one, balanced, okay? The third one, short. Sawa? So how do we dress, or what belts are for the short-waisted or short-torso people? I've already been given a disclaimer that not all of our waists look like this, but this is just for description purposes, okay? Now, if you are short-waisted, narrow belts and midi belts will look good on you. Why? When you're short-waisted, we've said that you have a short waist. So the distance between or your waist is a little bit short. When you wear a narrow belt, it tends to break the shortness, okay, compared to when you're wearing a wide belt, because a wide belt will fill up that space, okay? And when it fills up that space, you now don't even have a waist completely, because you can't see it. Okay? It's too wide, imejaa. You're trying to create the waist, but it's just not being created. All right? So you do the narrow or the midi belts, because when you wear it, we can see there is kuna space between your bust and your belt and the bottom. So it elongates you, looking like you have a well-defined waist, compared to when you're in a wide belt that now just makes you look waistless. All right? So, and also when you're wearing a midi belt or a small belt, it creates a balance with your short torso. Okay? Compared to when you're wearing something long that just jazzes you. All right? If you're long-waisted, wide belts look good on you. Why? Because you have the time, you have the space to fill it up with a wide belt, okay? Simple. So in your many years of experience in dressing, have you been wearing the right belts? Yeah, I thought so. So, does anyone here have a colored belt that is either wide or narrow? dakika moja. These beauty standards are too high. Now, other tips for wearing belts, okay? Now, if you want to add a pop of color to your outfit, and that pop of color is your belt, you might want to go for a narrow belt, okay? So the brighter the pop of color, the narrower. If you want to go for a complete, like all black, like our model here, let us call her Treasure. When you want to go for a completely like the same color, you might want to go for a wide belt. If you want to, yes, a wide belt of the same color. But again, you have to also note if you're a small-waisted or a long-waisted. If you're short-waisted, remember the highest you can go is a midi belt, okay? So you might want to go for the widest midi belt that you have. That is not, again, so wide, but of the same color. Good. If you go for who has a narrower colored belt? Now, let's see the difference and how good one looks on the other. Of course, when you're wearing a belt, you usually want to wear it at your natural waistline, or depending on the effect you want to make, you can either make it higher or lower, okay? So, the natural waistline of this dress is here. If you wear it lower, you look terrible. That's just it. Yes? Huyu mtu wangu ataanguka. Look, Manu, you've been sitting in our session, please. It's okay. All right. That's better. So if you're going for a pop of color, we said you go for a narrow. The more the poppier the color, the narrower the. So let's see the difference. There's that. Okay. There's that. And that. So, which one looks greater? Better, rather. This one? So the poppier the color, the narrower the. Now, to create a Now, we've now noted if you're either long-waisted or short-waisted, right? Now we need to create a balance when you are either, all right? So when you're short-waisted, you've said most likely you have longer legs. When you are long-waisted, most likely you have a shorter torso, all right? Now, first to create a balance. No, it's okay. yeah, it's okay, yeah. Now we have to create a balance, all right? So to create a balance, if you're a long-waisted person, meaning you have a longer torso, all right, you might want to wear short jackets, okay? Because when you're wearing a short jacket, it will reduce you from being long, and the shortness of the jacket will make you more. Is it making sense? Yeah, so, but when you're wearing a long jacket, you already have a long torso, we're just going to be dragging down, making you look taller. Actually, making you look taller and even having a longer torso. All right? You might also want to tuck in your tops. Okay? When you tuck in your tops and you're already wearing a high-waist pant, it will also lift up your waist. So it will shorten your torso. Good. You also want to go for monochromatic outfits because it will make you look more together. It won't separate you like the brighter top, you know? So it will make you look more together. You might want also to wear high-waist pants, okay? And vertically striped pants, not tops, pants, okay? Because you have a longer torso, you have shorter, so we want to make your legs look, so we wear vertically striped pants, skirts, bottoms in general, okay? Then you avoid ankle-fitting pants. Hii ndo mnaitanga don't touch. Don't wear pants that are confused. They are not on your ankle, they are not on your knees. They're just dangling in between, okay? Then you wear a belt that matches your bottoms. Because when you're wearing a belt that matches your bottoms, for example, a black belt on a black skirt or pants, it elongates the pants or the skirt, making the bottoms look tall, and then it shortens your torso. Dressing as a short-waisted person. Now, a short-waisted person, you have a shorter torso and longer legs. So you're going to do the opposite of the long-waisted person. So you want to do mid-rise pants, just sit below your belly button, okay? So when you're wearing mid-rise pants that sit just below your belly button, it will make it look balanced because you have a short torso, so it's going to elongate the torso to where the pants are, and then you also have longer legs, so it's going to shorten the legs, okay? Wear V-necks. The same principle we had with the inverted triangle and the rectangle. When you wear a V-neck, it elongates you because the tension moves from this to this. So when you're having you're a short-waisted girly, you might want to wear a V-neck so that it can elongate your torso. Then you choose blouses longer than the waist, okay? For a long-waisted person, remember we tuck in so that it can shorten the torso. But here we look for something that is longer so that it can elongate the torso. Then wear one-piece garments. Wear long necklaces and to elongate your upper half. One-piece garments, like the dresses that are just one piece, okay? It won't really tell us where your waist is, so we'll just assume where it is, and it will be balanced. Then, when you're wearing a long necklace, it also pulls, all right? Instead of wearing a short that just ends here, our eyes will end there, and then we'll continue looking at your short torso. But if you wear something long, our eyes will flow with the longness of your necklace, and then our eyes will visually enhance your length and your torso. Then you untuck your tops. The same process we had, or the same principle we had of you wearing long tops. You wear waist drop dresses. Waist drop dresses are those dresses that drop at your waist. Drop at your waist. When you do that, it gives us an illusion of where your waist is, and in the process also elongates because when you're a short-waisted person, you won't want to wear dresses that are high because you already have a short torso. When you wear a high waist dress, it makes you look even shorter, and it elongates your bottoms even more. so you look something unbalanced, all right? Then you wear belts that match closely with your outfit to elongate you, or belts that match with your tops. The same principle we had with the pants. If you wear belts that match with pants, you look elongated on the bottoms. So when you're wearing tops or belts that match with pants, it elongates your short torso, balancing with your bottoms. Then you avoid wide belts as possible because they take too much space, and that is space you don't. Good. Any question before we move to our next segment, activity? Any question? Nice. So let's talk skin types and skin care. Do we know our skin types? Do we? Ladies of 40 years experience in this earth, do you know your skin types? Wow. So there are 5 types of skin, 5 skin types, okay? Dry, oily, normal, combination or combined. One more. This one now, we suffered with it when we were adolescents. Acne prone, not really. Sensitive skin. All right? Now, with our skin, tulipita bio, there's something known as sebum. What is sebum? Smart ladies. The oil that is produced by your skin that tends to lock in the moisture, okay? Now, if you're having a dry skin, it means your skin is not producing enough sebum, okay? So your skin will feel tight most of the times, okay? It may have flaky patches, ashy, okay? It will be dull in appearance. You look like you have no life, yet you have life. And you may have some fine lines, all right? So how do we take care of a dry skin, all right? First of all, we have to take very short showers, warm showers, okay? When you take very long showers, your skin will tend to dry even more because you may subject to water that it cannot retain, okay? We also go for heavy moisturizers. You go heavy on moisturizers. When you're moisturizing your face or your dry skin, go heavy on it. And most of the times when you are having a dry skin, you might want to, you remember our shower routine where you lock in the moisture? You might want to lock in moisture using even the body butters. So if you're using a lotion that is not really high on hydration, you might want to switch to body butters and body oil so that you can lock in more moisture. Use gentle cleansers. Do we all have cleansers? Do you all know what cleansers are? Now, a cleanser is a product that helps your skin get rid of impurities, okay? Your soap can be a cleanser, but it sometimes does not do the job, okay? So sometimes you have these manufactured cleansers that are intentionally to remove either dirt, makeup, and all that from your skin. Then you can use humidants. Humidants are products that reduce loss of moisture, like glycerin and hyaluronic acid. We'll be talking about these serums that are currently in the market, the hyaluronic acid, BHA, AHA, niacid acid, yes, those acids that are in the market and really don't know what they do. Oily skin. Now, oily skin it feels greasy, it appears oily, it has large pores, and mostly they are affected by acne. They produce so much sebum that the skin cannot use it fully. So wacha some sebum on the skin, and you tend to look oily and greasy all the time. So how do you take care of an oily skin if you have one? If you have an oily skin? you use non-comedogenic products, okay? Comedogenic products are products that won't block your skin, your pores. When you are shopping for makeup or you're shopping for anything, you might want to read at the back so that you know exactly if this is what your skin needs or not. So if you read somewhere it is non-comedogenic, it means it has products that will not block your skin. Then you have to go light on oil-free moisturizers and makeup products. Now we have makeup products that are oil-based and makeup products that are water-based. The water-based makeup products might be a little bit costly compared to the oil-based makeup products. But if you are an oily skin, you might want either to go light on the oil-based products or completely switch to the water products. Oil will tend to clog your clothes. Water is light and you can easily get rid of it. Then you use products that have additional ingredients to aid in absorption of oil, e.g. bentonite. So products that have additional ingredients to aid in absorption, e.g. bentonite. Again, when you're buying your makeup, you might want to read at the back to see what it entails, and if you need such products like bentonite, etc. Normal skin, ni kama the hourglass figure. They're just okay. Wherever life takes them, they don't really have a lot of complications. They're glowing and shining. But the rest of us are just there, skin caring and face masks. They're just there, all right? So they have a well-balanced skin that appears smooth and with minimal blemishes. Now, this type of skin, if you have this type of skin, you might want to just go with the normal basic skincare routine, which if you're also a person looking for a skincare routine, you might want to adopt, okay? So we start with the cleanser. Then after cleansing your skin, you can either cleanse it with the cleansing micellar water with a cotton wool, but that is not really as thorough. Or you can go the foam way. We have cleansers that are in foam. We understand what foam is, like povu. Then you just go in with it. When you go in with it, you'll have cleansed and exfoliated. Now, when you're talking about our shower routine, we had the body butters, the ones that are rough. Please don't use that on your face, okay? They are too rough to be used on your face, okay? The skin on your face is a little bit different from the skin of the rest of your body. So you might want to go with something a little bit softer and not so rough, okay? So you might want to either get the micellar waters, etc. Then you tone, or use a toner. Now this is usually not for everyone, because some people, they don't really need to tone their skin. So toning just is to clear and to create a balance. Sometimes on your skin you can find you have lighter places, you have darker places. So when you're using a toner, it tones, from the word toning. Serums and oils, we'll be talking about that. And then you moisturize. So when you're moisturizing, you just go with a normal moisturizer that works for you. And then SPF. Do you know what SPF stands for? Wavenye nimewasifu wati smart girls. Gosh. Sunscreen, sun protecting factor. All right? You can also go in with a sunscreen. And that is very important. There's usually this myth that you don't need sunscreen. We absorb heat, blah, blah, blah. But you really need sunscreen, because still the UV rays, they all and will affect your skin. And then once you've done your skincare, don't forget your lips, okay? You can exfoliate your lips. Just a quick, if you feel you have ashy lips or lips that are cracked and you just want to get rid of the dead skin, you can mix sugar and honey. It creates a consistent paste. Then you just place it on your lip and scrub. Don't softly, okay? Good. Combined or combination skin. Now, in this type of skin, you have both dry and oily skin, okay? The dry parts are the rest of your face, except your nose your forehead, your nose, and your chin. Okay? It gives you the T impression. Right? So we say, if you're a combined skinned, you have your oily, or you have an oily skin at the T areas, and the rest of the face, you are dry skin. So how do you take care of a skin that is combined? So you have to go easy on moisturizers, on the oily part, and go heavy on the dry part, all right? Also, when you're taking care of your combined skin, you also still want to go in with SPF. Actually, SPF is for all the skins to take care of it. And then use oil-free products and makeup, because that will work for both dry and the oily skin. Sensitive skin. So this is skin that burns, or it itches, or it inflames after you have applied a product, okay? Now that makes it sensitive. So when you're having a sensitive skin, first you have to take note of what are these products, that are making your skin react. After that, you just flee from them, or you reduce, but reducing really won't help, so you just flee from those products. Then you maintain a basic skincare routine, the simplest skincare routine that you can have. And then if symptoms persist, good. Some of the serums available in the market and what they do, okay? So we have AHA and BHA. This one has been mostly advertised for us who follow products by Garnier. So it stands for alpha hydroxy acid and beta hydroxy acid. So the AHA, it improves the appearance of the skin, all right? And the BHA, it reduces blemishes, wrinkles, fine lines, and things like that. We have vitamin C. It brightens, it hydrates, and corrects uneven. We have hyaluronic acid. It aids in reducing the skin stretch, okay? Also reducing the lines and the wrinkles. We have glycolic acid. It's also a form of AHA, and it's an exfoliant. Exfoliant, it works like a cleanser. It removes dead skin and sometimes dirt. And niacinamide, or B3. This reduces excess oil reduction while brightening the dull skin. However, you should not go so much into the B3, because it will artificially take the work of your body. So your body won't produce oil again, because you are reducing every time. So you don't really need to go heavy on that. Now, we are almost done with serums, but before that, I want you again to look at your neighbor. Have you now known their names? Good. Then ask them, do you know your undertone? First ask them, do you know what an undertone is? Amazon stories are jabba. Do they? Do they? Good. So let's dwell into undertones, all right? Now, a skin undertone, this is the subtle hue or pigment that is underneath your tone. You have a tone. That's a tone. But underneath the tone, you have the, yes. So, the skin tone is the one on the surface, and you all know it is determined by the amount of melanin you have in your skin. Good. Now, how do we know if you are warm or cool? There are three: warm, cool, neutral. If you are in the western side, they have like 4: warm, cool, neutral, and olive. But for us, mostly we have warm and cool. So how do we know our skin tones? Anyone? If this was a PhD class, some of us would have failed miserably. So how do we know our undertones? There are 4 main ways, but we are going to focus on 2 today, all right? So the first one, we all have veins, don't we? So just look at your vein on your wrist. And ask your neighbor, not you. Ask your neighbor, hii ni color gani? Do we have some colors? Green? Huh? Light green. Green, light green, gray. Yellow. Any other? Any other? So, it's either green, bluish, or purple. Bluish or purple. But you can't have green and blue, or blue and purple, or green and purple. So it's either green or blue or purple. So if you have green veins, zinaonekana, then you are a warm undertone. All right? And if you have blue stroke purple, you have a cool undertone. All right? Another way we can get to know that is by the jewelry we wear. Sometimes when you're jewelry shopping and you're wearing a necklace and you wear a silver necklace, you're just like, this is not it. And then when you try a gold one, you're like, now this complements my skin. You don't know what you're saying, but you know this is better, right? So if you're a warm undertoned person, you look better in gold. If you're cool, you look better in simple. Now, when you are, there are certain clothes that we say they make us look washed, or inafanya nakaa mgonjwa, or this one now makes me lively, and all that, all right? So in the next session, I want us to pay attention. Ikikupita si mimi nimesema. So, we have the basic colors, primary colors. Anyone? Black. Red. Red, blue, and? Now, when you mix red and yellow, what do you get? Sorry, let me take you back. Red, blue, and? Blue is a cool color. Red and yellow are warm colors, not bright. Warm colors, all right? So when you mix red and yellow, what do you get? When you mix yellow and blue, what do you get? When you mix blue and red, what do you get? Now, we can say red, orange, and yellow are warm colors. On the other side, no. Because blue is the only cool color. Why? Because violet or purple is a combination of blue and red, a combination of cool and warm. So it's neither cool, it's neither warm. All right? The same applies to, it's neither cool, it's neither. However, for a color maybe like, there are colors like purple, some purples that tend to be more warmer. Why? It's because they have more red than blue, okay? So when you are moving from blue to red, the more you tend to lean on red, the warmer the purple. When you're between blue and yellow, the more green tends to move to blue, the cooler The green. Good. The more the green. When green tends to move more to yellow, it tends to be a warmer. When orange either moves to red or yellow, it still is a warm color. Okay? Now, when you are a cool person, you wear the cool colors. That is the purples tending more to blue and the greens tending more to blue. If you're a warm person, you can do that. So, this is the color palette for cool undertones, all right? Now, on the cool side, we can see blue, okay? Blue is the cool color. When this blue tends to move more to your left, it tends to be warmer, okay? Because it's moving more to red, all right? When this green moves also to your left, it tends to be warmer, all right? The same applies to the warm undertones. Can we move to the next one? Good. Now, we can see we have some shades of red. When the red one, now how will we count it? The red one, this is the bright red, okay? The brightest red, that is the red, the primary color, all right? When we are moving more to yellow, it's still warmer, because red and yellow are warm colors. When you're moving from yellow to blue, it's getting cooler. But when you're moving from blue to yellow, we are getting. When you're moving from blue to red, we are getting good. Now, if you're a warm person, a warm undertoned person, you will look very good in the warm colors, either in the shades or the intensity. So what do I mean by intensity? When it's intensity, it's either we are adding more white or more black. For example, let's look at the red. When you're adding more red, it's getting lighter. When you're adding more black, when you're adding more red, it's getting lighter. When you're adding more black, it's getting darker. They're all reds, they're all warm colors, and they look good on a warm undertoned person. The same applies to blue for the cool undertoned person. If you move lighter, you still look good, for as long as it's not moving towards yellow or red, you'll still look good in a cool color. All right? Nice. Okay, so can we do one more activity and then we close up? Now, when we came in, we were given some eye pencils. They were not for art and crafts. So let's jump. Okay, let's first do a brief description of some of the makeup products that we might have and you don't know what they are for at home, right? So we have primers. Now these primers, depending on your skin type, they usually come in two types, either hydrating or mattifying, okay? For hydrating, they hydrate the skin. So those are suitable for dry to normal skin, all right? When imeandikwa mattifying, they are for oily, normal to oily skin. So when you are going shopping for primers and you don't know which is which, based on what is written, you can either take the mattifying or the hydrating. Foundations, I think we all know what foundations are. We have, at least in our lifetime, bought a foundation. And 90% of the time, we don't use it. So we're also going to use that later. We have concealers. Concealers have two functions. And concealers are usually a little bit lighter compared to our foundation shade. Okay? The concealer, first off, is to conceal, from the word concealer. So it's to conceal. When you're concealing, it's like you're hiding. So when you're having blemishes or you're having dark spots, you might want to put on some concealer, all right, to conceal the spots or the blemishes. And another function of the concealer is to highlight. When you look at yourself on the mirror, in front of light, there are places where the light hits. So when you're wearing makeup and you want to wear your concealer, you place them on the places where the light hits, the T area, all right? The opposite of highlighting is contouring. And when you want to contour and you're wearing your makeup, the same way you're looking at a mirror and the light hits, for you to know where you're going to contour is where the shadow is, all right? So when you look at your mirror, you have mirrors. When you look at your mirror, you might find the forehead might be darker, your cheekbones, maybe at the side of your nose, and at your jawlines, here at your jaws, right? Also, when you're choosing your foundation, sorry, let me take you back. How did you choose your foundation then? Ama you go and that lady tells you, unaka number 1, ama weni number 2, ama uchukue yote, uchanganye. So how do we know, or how do we choose our foundations? Now, if you're actively shopping for foundation, you might want to start easy, beginner-friendly, light. Also, there are 2 types of foundation. We have the light coverage, full coverage, again, from covering. If you want to just cover a few, or maybe you don't have a lot of blemishes or spots, and you want something light, you might go for the light coverage. If you, however, want to cancel and nullify all the works of the enemy, you move to the full coverage. All right? That's okay? And the full coverage might be a little bit heavier when you wear it compared to the light coverage. What was I talking? Oh, foundation. So if you are actively looking for foundation, there are places in town where you can go get your foundation tested, your shade tested for free, for as long as you're going to buy. All right? Let's not go testing foundations in different shops and you're not buying. So you can go to Good Life pharmacies around town. There's one in Rupa Mall. There's one opposite, is it School Depot? Yeah, you might want to go there. They do free testing for as long as you buy. And also, if you want to buy a foundation that matches your skin, so that you might not be a 2-in-1, okay? You might not be, yeah, I think you understand the 2-in-1. Yeah, I think that's it. Setting sprays, they're just in a liquid form or a mist form. It's used to now put everything together and to make it last longer, okay? Setting powders, they're also used to they're in powder form. It's usually, so these are the setting powders. They are loose, all right? They're loose. And then we have the compact powders. These are not the ponds, all right? This is just a combination of all the powders, but they're usually compact. I'm very sure at least you kila mtu ako nayo, I know. Sorry? They are powders. Nakujanga saa zingine moja moja. I think you've seen them. And they usually come sometimes with a sponge on top. And then you unveil it, kona kakaratasi. All right? What else? Compact, yeah. So the setting powders are used to set to finish your makeup. And the compact powders is just to blend everything in so that you don't have harsh lines. Harsh lines is when you're wearing makeup, you've placed your foundation, you've placed your blush, your contour, but then we can see, hii contour imeshia hapa, hii blush, hii hata ijaenda mbali, ndo hii. So when you are trying to blend everything in, you use the compact powder. So let's do our brows, ladies. There's always something about doing eyebrows, even when you're not wearing makeup, it tends to stand out. And because you have beautiful eyes, when you do eyebrows, it tends to bring the attention to the eyes, right? And when they are beautiful, it just, your face now radiates. It looks good, okay? So, the different types of brows, I think we can all see from our different faces, from your neighbors. They're not the same. Okay, they might be, but they're not really the same. We have different shapes. We have the straight, the upward, the arc, soft arc, medium arc, high arc, S-shape, round, and round arc. All right? So, first of all, before we start doing our brows, we have to map our brows. We have to? How do we map our brows? Tutoe vio na tutoe kalamu ya macho. So first off, you have to make sure that your eye pencil is sharp. And as you can see, you have eye pencils that are not black. All right? They are brown. So when you're shopping for also an eye pencil, you might want to go for a brown shade. That is number 018, I think. And then also you can use Davis 003, okay? The reason why we are not using black is because black will make the eyebrows so dark and so unnatural. If you're, however, a dark person, you might want to go a little bit heavier when you're drawing it, but still use a brown shade, all right? If you're lighter and you don't want your brows to look so heavy, just go light. And when you are doing our brows, you hold the tip, or it's not like you're writing, you hold the tip, okay? Like ubaki na nafasi. Yes, you don't, sishike kama muiko. Now, how do we map our brows? From our nose area. So you immediately where there's this kasi, you place your eye pencil. You have your mirrors, musijidunge mkiniangalia. So you place your eye pencil immediately after the C and straight on, and as you can see, it will just pass where the corner of your eye is, upwards. So you mark there. Just mark it nicely, lightly. And then, tulifanya construction, just tilt it a bit to almost the corner of your eye, but not the corner. So that is where your brow will turn. Okay? And then lastly, to the corner of your eye, that is where the brow will end. All right? So, step number 1, as you've said, make sure your eye pencil is. We've marked the beginning, the mid, and the end. So step number 1, when you are starting off to do your brows, you make sure that your brow is dry, okay? Because you've already done your skincare, all that. You can't draw on an oily palette. Canvas, thank you. You can't draw on an oily canvas, okay? So first off, if you're having powder, either baby powder, compact powder, nini, but you're using baby powder because it's white, go light, okay? Just go light, and then you'll blend it at the end. So, first off, you powder your brows to make it dry and matte, all right? Secondly, you draw a line where we have marked, where the brow is going to start, following the natural shape. Following what? Of your brow, the underline. The natural. Once you've drawn the natural, the line underneath the natural shape to where it ends, you now draw a line above your brow, okay? And when you're drawing a line above your brow, you don't start where the brow starts, where we've marked. You move a little bit further, like a quarter away. The top line does not start on top of the lower line. It moves a bit further, okay? And then again, following the natural shape of your brow and holding your pen at least farthest, so that you don't put a lot of weight on the pen, okay? And then afterwards, you stroke your brow. We don't shade it, okay? Just follow the natural brows, and just stroke it, okay? Just stroke it lightly, but don't stroke huku mwanzo. You remember where we did a quarter line? Don't stroke from there kukuja mbele. Stroke from there, moving to the tail, okay? Oops, and there's a step we missed. So, let us go back, rewind. So when you're starting to do your brows, you can either use a toothbrush or a spoolie to brush up your brows, so that you also don't have bushy brows when you're doing your brows. So you brush it up, it also makes it neater, so it's easier for you to stroke it, because you've brushed up. And then now, let us move again. Stroke it. Okay? Stroke. You stroke it. After stroking it, you take your brush, your toothbrush, or your spoolie. Do you know what a spoolie is? Mtanilipa fee. This is a spoolie. Sijui kama mnaona. It looks like ile ya kuosha thermos. That's a good nini. Ile ya kuosha, but it's just that's a spoolie. And then on the other side, okay, it's another type of brush that you might need. It's called a flat brush, or an angled brush, or a concealer brush. So it's just flat. Haina volume, it's just flat. So you brush up your brows with your spoolie or your brush, and then by the end of it, you need to be having a brow that looks like number 4. You blend and you've brushed up, all right? And then, after that, you go in with your concealer and your foundation shade. Now, for your brows to look neat, you might want to clean it. And you clean it using that foundation that you bought 4 years ago. You just clean it nicely. So you place your foundation and your concealer. A concealer is usually 1 or 2 shades lighter than your foundation, okay? You place them both at the back of your hand or at your wrist, depending on how comfortable you are. And then using your flat brush, you just clean it. For you to get that neat clean, you might want to lift your brow, and just underneath where you drew your first line, just clean it, okay? First using the concealer, your foundation, so that it can give you that natural finish, and then at the corner with your concealer, so that you can highlight the brow, so that when you're turning, it also reflects, or can I say reflect? You can see it with the corners, okay? So it can also not be so flat, because when you're cleaning your brows using your foundation, it's the same color as your skin, so it might not really show the neatness of it. All right? I wish you had more time to do an everyday look, but I think we can do that another time. Asanteni sana.
Praise God. Thank you, Babra, for the good work that you have done. And thank you, ladies, for turning up